Well, good morning. Today is the 26th day of December. The time is 10 o'clock. The board is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. We also have with us, can you give us your name for the record?
Darcy Hart.
Darcy Hart.
Bonnie Overbilly, Recorder's Office.
Mike Work Operations.
Bob Perkins, Ada County Procurement.
Austin, IT.
IT guy.
Keith Bordy with the clerk's office.
Okay.
Beth Lawn, Treasurer.
All right, well, thank you. Okay, are there any changes to the agenda, Madam Clerk?
No, they're not.
No changes to the agenda. Okay, the first item up on our agenda is a reappointment of Don Retzlaff to the Planning and Zoning Commission to a term to expire 12/22/26. Is there any discussion or questions?
Well, Mr. Chair, I've talked to her and she enjoys doing it. I think she was appointed to fill a non-expired term, I think.
Yeah, that was
She's
it.
only been here for about a year.
Yeah,
and-
she filled a term that wasn't expired.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. And so she's, enjoys doing it. She's been learning the ropes and, seems to be a good member of the team there.
Well,
I would concur with that as well, so I'll move to approve the reappointment of Don Retzlaff to the Planning and Zoning Commission, term to expire 12/22/2026.
And I'll second that.
okay, well, you've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right, next we have some unfinished business. I'll accept a motion to remove the unfinished business from the table.
I'll move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the first item up is a development application that was tabled to today for the purpose of revised development agreement, findings of fact, and conclusions of law. This would be development application 2023-00225, Urban Solutions. I expect that's you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're getting to know you pretty good. Okay. All right, any discussion on this issue or any,
Mr. Chair?
yes?
I see Richard Beck is on the bridge there. Maybe he can
If he wants to say something.
fill us in on this.
Well, we did,
Well, not
Yeah,
fill
good
us
morning.
in, but just tell us where we're at.
well,
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Yeah, not much to add on this one. We have just prepared the remaining final documents for your signature after you consider this at your public hearing, and respectfully submit those for your consideration this morning.
okay. Well,
And did we close the record on this?
We did.
yes, we did.
Which means you don't get to talk, unfortunately. But
Nope.
we're happy to have you here
She doesn't
nonetheless.
want to talk. I'm
I was
sure.
gonna say,
All right, I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the revised development agreement, ordinance, and findings of fact, and findings of fact and conclusions of law for application number 2023-00225 ZCDA VMSP, Urban Solutions LLC.
I'll second that.
Okay, well, you've heard the motion. We have given this a thorough review. We've had a couple of hearings, and the Planning and Zoning Commission had a hearing, and here we are, because we changed some of the development agreement and findings of fact and conclusions of law, and now we're ready to approve it. So you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. You don't need to run off mad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next up is the amendment to grant of easement, table from 1219. We did remove it from the unfinished business, so it's properly before us. Any questions or any issues on this? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve the amendment to the grant of easement between Ada County and the Staker Parson Companies and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. moving on, I'll open the public hearing on ordinance number 99966. An ordinance dealing with the Ada County landfill rates and a few other things. Any questions or anything on the, on this ordinance?
Well, Mr. Chair, we've had to put a lot of work into the landfill since we came on board, and with Bruce Crisco at the helm, I think he's done a fantastic job of planning for the future. That I think was one of the problems that landfill was facing, was that there wasn't adequate planning for the future, and when our current cell is filled up, we have to build another one, and so these adjustments to the ordinance, I think, as far as rates go, are a pretty humble increase, but that will, I think, save us money in the future, because we are gonna have to continue to develop the landfill and plan for when our current site is full. We're gonna need another one. Community's growing, and I think we're doing a great job up there, but the people who use the landfill need to be the ones to pay for it. It's not subsidized, it's paid for by users, and so the rate that the users pay just has to match the realities of what it takes to run the landfill.
Well, and there's a few other things on this ordinance about they have to cover their vehicle, it's a fee if they don't have their
Speed limit.
and a speed limit on the property, so there's a few other things. Is there any other discussion on this ordinance? Anybody here? Nope, okay. I'll close the public hearing on ordinance number 966 and ask for a motion.
I move to approve ordinance number 966 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Now procurement is up. Hey,
Good morning.
how are you today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good.
All right. Before you this morning, Commissioners, is the bid for 24021, the Ada County Community Programs Exterior Storefront Window Replacement 2024. And we were prepared to come this morning with an award recommendation, but we only received one response for this project, and unfortunately, that response, the contractor withdrew their bid due to a mistake in their bid. Apparently, they overlooked part of the scope of work that was required in the project, namely the removal and reinstallation of some metal awnings that go over the storefront windows. And so they asked for their bid to be withdrawn because they didn't account for that in their bid amount. So that leaves us with no bids for this project. And as such, Ada County Operations would like the board to consider procuring this project out on the open market. And if that's a desire of the board, Operations would bring back before you a resolution to procure on the open market.
It'd be kinda hard for us to prove something if they withdrew.
If it's not there anymore.
So,
Okay, so do we need a motion in that regard?
no
All
motion
right, no
today.
motion. All right,
It's just
good
more
enough.
of an update, and Mike and his crew will work to get a resolution together and
All right.
bring it forward at a later date.
All right, very good enough.
All right, thanks, Commissioners.
All right, thank you. Okay, next we have operations. Barber Park remodel, agreement number 15258, a decrease of $13,675. That must be the contingency.
Yes, Mr. Commissioner, that is a return of unused contingency allowance money.
Great. Well, we don't have much discussion about that.
We'll gladly do that.
All right, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve change order number 1 as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next we have licenses. We have a ratification of a license that I signed on the 20th. This was a business that was trying to get open and didn't get the paperwork completed, but the paperwork was completed, and so this is the first time we could hear it. And that would be the Spitfire Tacos and Tequila on State Street. And we have 2 catering permits and 2 new licenses. I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve and ratify the new license signed by the Commissioner Beck on December 20th, 2023, as it identified on the agenda, and approve the remaining licenses as listed on the agenda, including 2 catering permits, 2 new licenses, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, now we have the clerk's office. He's gonna tell us all about the retention of county vessel funds.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. I know the excitement on today's agenda was the waterway fund, so let's jump right into it. Hopefully I won't disappoint, but talk to our controller, Tim Sturgis, pretty straightforward. This is the annual report. It's pretty basics. It's the income statement balance report. This is due every January to the state, so this is simply blessing that so that Tim can move forward with filing with the state.
Okay, any questions from the commission? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve the request for retention of surplus money in the county vessel fund from fiscal year 2023 and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have up the claims journal. You wanna tell us all about the claims journal then?
I would love to.
In detail, 100 whatever pages.
Okay, we wanna pay our bills before the end of the year, so I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to authorize payment of the claims on the Claims Journal dated December 22nd, 2023.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have personnel actions. I'll accept a motion on the personnel actions.
I'll move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the commissioner's office.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, now we have up on the agenda the assessor's office. Nobody from the assessor's office is here, so we'll move to the next one. We have with us our distinguished treasurer, Ms. Beth Mon.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
Hi.
Hi, so the priority in the treasurer's office continues to be property tax collections. As you're aware, the due date was last week on the 20th. So we stayed here the night of the 20th, applied a 2% late charge as we're required to do by law for payments that we had not received. But as you're also aware, for mailed payments, it's the postmark that determines the timeliness. And so we look at the USPS postmark stamp. So even this week, we have a lot of mail payments still continuing to come in. So we're visually inspecting those envelopes, and if they were timely, we are backing off the late charge. So that's what we're doing this week. And that's it.
How many do you usually get in that, in an annual basis? How many do you get that are like that?
Oh, there's probably hundreds
Oh, really?
still coming in. Several trays over the next, a few last week and then a few this week.
Because we tell people if it's postmarked on the 20th, then there's not a late charge. And so if they put their tax in the mailbox on the 20th, you get the postmark on the 20th, but it doesn't arrive here for
Depending on where they mailed it.
Correct.
a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also note that's the USPS postmark.
Yes, yeah.
So it doesn't work for metered mail. For
Metered mail, if they got it in their office, they
It
can't
goes, right.
adjust it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, anything else for us?
That's it from our
Well, thank you
office.
for all your hard
Thank
work.
you.
I know that it's always a difficult time when you have all that work to do. You get that jogger running full steam,
A marathon, yes.
and you
Yeah.
have to post them timely and so forth. That's great. So thank you very much for your work.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have the approval of the minutes from the jail inspection dated 12/12 and the open business being dated 12/19. I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have the next up, weed and pest. This is to approve a Model M and P certificates of state use for purchase of fuel from United Oil, Conrad and Bishop, and Co-Energy. Any discussion or questions on this issue? Not really an issue, just authorizing to purchase fuel. Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to authorize the chair to sign the certificates of state use for purchase of fuel from United Oil, Conrad and Bischoff, and Co-Energy for Weed and Pest.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right?
Motion carries. All right. Next up is, we have 3 interim events at Expo. Any question or discussion on the interim events? Oh, there's Tattoo Fest.
I was gonna say, that last one looks like an interesting one.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
Team building, Commissioner.
The team building. So is the clerk's office gone?
That's the plan, sir.
All right, well, I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the 3 interim event agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have Barber Park Education and Event Center with 2 events. A Idaho Women's Charitable Foundation and a memorial service. I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve the 2 Barber Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right?
Motion carries. Next up, we have 9 agreements. I've reviewed these agreements and I don't find any of them objectionable. I'll accept a motion on the 9 agreements.
Mr. Chairman, it's just interesting, Valley County, one of the closest counties, is one of the last ones to propose, or sign that agreement, and on University of Idaho, interesting, they waited so long as well.
Well,
So I move to approve the 9 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Right?
Motion carries. All right, now we have miscellaneous, a certificate of authority for signature of agreements related to the operation of Barber Dam. This is a couple of agreements. One is to authorize a contractor to work with Idaho Power in our behalf. That's one of the agreements. There's several others. Any issues or questions on these agreements? And by the way, they can be revoked at any time.
Right, yeah, at our discretion.
At our discretion, yeah. So I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve the certificate of authority for signature on agreements related to the operation of Barber Dam and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Right?
Motion carries. And lastly, we have the weekly indigent items. I'll accept a motion on the weekly indigent items.
I move to accept the recommendations of the indigent services staff as listed on the summary of cases dated December 26, 2023, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Right?
Motion carries. All right, is there any other business need to be brought before the board? If not, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. Today is the 26th day of Christmas. December.
Boxing Day.
Yeah. The time is the 20 minutes after 10:20. The Board of Commissioners is in session. All three commissioners are present. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Chairman Beck, we have a change to the daily agenda.
That's right. I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to remove the 11 a.m. legal staff executive session from the agenda.
And I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the legal staff, that's been removed. Okay, now, we'll move into the next item on the agenda is the Emergency Medical Services District, open business meeting. I'll open that up. The Ada County Commission, sitting as the board of the Emergency Medical Services District, is in the session to conduct its open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. Is there any changes to that agenda, Madam Clerk?
No, they're not.
No changes to that agenda. Okay, moving right into it, the first item on the agenda is the Claims Journal. I'll accept a motion on the Claims Journal.
I'll move to authorize payment of claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated December 22nd, 2023 regarding EMS expenditures.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next up, we need to approve the minutes of our 12/19/23 meeting. I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we have an EMS update. Any commissioner want to give us an EMS update? I guess last week we had a record in terms of slip and falls
Yes, yeah.
because the
40 in one day.
was 60.
Or 60?
60 slip and
It was
fall.
60. Yeah,
Just one across the county?
yeah. Well, our EMS responded to it.
Oh.
That's right, when he was here, it was 40 and it was
Yeah,
20 more
went up,
after that.
yeah, and then he sent us a report of all the ones that we did have, and it was the highest amount, it was a record. Slip and falls, and that actually needed an ambulance to take him to the hospital.
For mice?
It was all ice. Yeah.
Didn't even seem that icy, but
Well,
it's snowing now. We've got our white Christmas a day late.
Yeah.
So there'll
Yeah.
probably be some issues on the freeway.
yep. Well, now that we've had our EMS update, is there anything else? You got anything for us, IT guy?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Well,
Thankfully, he didn't have to have an emergency either.
he didn't have an emergency either. Well, how about our clerk? Do you have anything else for us?
No, sir.
Well, should we be adjourned?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.